relationship with your mom currently?
So she and I lived together, like, the majority of the week, but, like, ever since the divorce, like, she had to work, and so she wasn't really around, and I feel like a lot of, like, household responsibilities fell on me, like, making dinner for myself. Like, I remember from, like, the ages of 10 to 15, like, doing my own dinner. Like, laundry was, like, my responsibility, making sure that, like, my homework got done. So I feel like she was doing her best with, like, what she had, but I definitely had more responsibilities than normal at that age.
Do you think she was out of the house because of the divorce and trying to provide just...
I'm sure she was trying to provide basic needs, and I just feel like this is where also my grandmother would have been a great support during that time. She hadn't gotten sick, but I also think that, like, my mom wanted to be, like, more of my best friend as opposed to my mom at times, so there were sometimes some blurred boundaries, and I think more recently I've just become more aware of my resentment towards her, and so we were, like, wedding planning, and she was overly involved, and we were looking at dresses and flowers and whatnot, and she said something that, like, pissed me off, and I just kind of snapped at her and told her to cut the crap, and we, like, haven't really been talking since then.
Can you tell me about that time when you kind of snapped at her?
It was just, she was, like, giving her opinion more than I needed, and she was making this event more about her than me, and telling me that I should do what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and it wasn't supposed to be about her, and so I think I definitely, like, kind of, like, told her, like, stop, and that I didn't want her involved with the planning anymore, and she walked out, and, like, we're not really in contact, and I'm not doing anything to change it.
Okay, so that was the last time you guys were in contact?
Yeah, like July.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I do not.
You do not, you're only child.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're married.
I'm engaged.
Oh, you're engaged. So tell me about your relationship with your fiance, how you guys met, and just...
So we met after, like end of college. I was 23. We met through some mutual friends. We got engaged about a year ago, and we'll be getting married December of 2020. So it's a good relationship. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think we have a healthy, trusting relationship, and he's my best friend.
And he's aware that you're here today and that you're having...
Actually, he's not aware.
He's not.
No. So, like I said, he's noticed that I've just been more tired recently, and he calls me lazy, but he doesn't, I don't think he realizes how I'm feeling inside.
Do you feel like you would be comfortable telling him, or is it just something you don't want to...
I don't want to, like, kind of share it.
You're not ready to share it with him? If you were to, how do you think he would react?
I don't know.
Okay. What about any other past relationships with other women?
I mean, I dated throughout college, but nothing significant.
So I want to ask you about, so you said you're not really on speaking terms with your mom right now, as well as with your dad, and you just kind of feel like you would want to talk to your fiance about you being in therapy. Do you have any other social support system you can talk to about what you're going through?
So I have some friends who live locally. I went to college with them. My best friend, like, lives in the neighborhood. I talk to her, like, regularly every day. I also have a childhood friend who's out in California, and we keep in touch through social media, but they don't know the extent. Yeah, and I just don't want people to worry about me and, like, be overly concerned about my well-being.
But do you think if you were to need them, they would be there for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. It's just your personal choice.
Yeah.
Not to. Okay.
And I just feel like things haven't gotten bad yet, and so I think that's part of the reason why I'm here, is I know they have the potential to get worse, and I'm just trying to be proactive.
Okay. I want to kind of go back to when I asked you about your thoughts of possibly, like, harming yourself and taking measures to possibly end your life. Are you having any current thoughts like that?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay. But the past 2 times, it was when you were 23 and when you were 18.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long? You said these feelings started a while ago. Like, can you put like an exact time on it, even?
July.
July. Okay. And has there ever been a period of time where you felt kind of the opposite than what you do now? Like a really happy mood, kind of more happier than usual, elevated mood. Have you ever felt something like that?
No, I mean, like, I feel like energetic when I drink coffee, and I definitely like had moods where I'm not feeling like this down. I just feel like average, but not like super happy. Yeah.
So this has just been like a consistent kind of mood that you've been having. Okay. Are you currently? Are you finding it difficult to concentrate on things? Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Can you tell me more about that?
It's just really hard to kind of stay on task when doing something. I kind of stopped reading because it's hard to like remember what the page before said. At work, I think I'm getting the what I need to get done, but I think it's not as productive as I would have been a couple months ago.
So it's affecting your work, it's affecting just like regular activities, you just can't concentrate.
It is, but I feel like I'm doing like just enough to get by where no one's really catching on.
Okay, so no one has work do you think it could be a possibility where they would notice eventually?
Right. Like if I was late, I think they might start to catch on and wonder why I'm like late or why I'm so tired. I think if my work slipped, if I was like late for deadlines, again, they might pick up on it, but I'm pretty careful just to do just enough.
So far, no one's noticed.
Right.
Okay. And what about, have you felt any like sort of hopelessness or any like you just felt like, okay, like this isn't gonna get better? Or...
in the past, but I'm not at that point yet.
Okay, in the past you felt that though. I also want to ask some questions just about your background and stuff like that. Has there, in your family, can you think of anyone who's had any like sort of psychiatric illness, anything like that you can think of?
My mom, I feel like, was really sad after the divorce, but I don't know if it was like psychiatric level.
And no one else that you can think of in your family? Okay.
My dad has cardiac disease.
Okay. And you said your grandma had Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
And you said the only treatment you've received is when you were 23.
23, and then when I was 10, I saw someone for a little bit.
And do you have any medical history that I need to know about? No surgeries or any head trauma or anything like that?
No.
Okay. I want to ask you about any substance use, like any alcohol use or how often do you drink alcohol currently?
So I drink probably like 2-3 nights a week. My fiance and I will like split a bottle of wine while like, we're watching a movie or like on a Friday night. Sometimes we'll go out to dinner. I'll have like 3 or 4 drinks.
Okay, when you say drinks, are those like alcoholic drinks? What kind of drinks?
Oh yeah, like wine or like Moscow Mules or mixed drinks. Yeah.
Okay, so in like one night you'd have like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay. And this is, you said, like once a while, once a week?
Yeah.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry. Like, if we go out to dinner, like,
yeah.
we maybe go out to dinner once a week. But, like, 2 to 3 nights I'll drink with, like,
at
wine.
Home.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had any trouble with drinking as far as, like, getting in trouble because of it or having an ability to, like, wake up the next day or forgetting events that happened the night before?
When I was in college, I was drinking like 4 nights a week, and I definitely was more impulsive when I was drinking. Sometimes like I would like meet guys at night and bring them back.
So when you were in those college days, a little bit more impulsive meeting guys, did those ever put you in situations that could have been hazardous too, or?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. there was this kind of thing that I feel like is more on my mind recently than not. One of the guys that I brought back to my place, we were hooking up, kind of making out, and I decided that I didn't want to go any further than that. And I said no, and I like tried to push him off, and he didn't listen. And so we had sex, but it wasn't like rape or anything. But I just wasn't happy.
So what I'm hearing is like you didn't really consent to it.
I definitely didn't.
You didn't consent to it, right?
But I don't know. It was my fault. I brought him back to my place, and I was drinking, and I was the one who kind of made those decisions. So I made myself, I think, vulnerable to that situation.
Did you ever talk to anyone about this, or did you?
No, actually, I haven't. I kind of did a really good job of not thinking about it or talking about it to anyone, pretending it didn't happen. But I just wonder if that's. It's just I don't know. I've been thinking about it more recently.
After that situation, how did that make you feel, and how did you those next few days, the moment right after? How were you feeling?
I felt like I hated myself for it, and because I made stupid decisions when I was drinking, maybe I deserved it. Yeah.
And how old were you when this happened? You
20.
said 20. Okay. Can you tell me anything more about it? You said you didn't deserve it, or
No, I think I deserved it.
you just think you deserved
Yeah.
it? Why do you think that?
Because I was the one drinking. I didn't think my decisions through.
Mm-hmm.
That was the second time I brought the guy back, and that was the last time. So I guess I learned my lesson.
And do you feel like that instance that happened is still affecting you today, as far as how you're feeling about yourself?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of myself these days.
Yeah.
I also just feel like I'm not getting it together like I would want to or should be. So.
Well, I just want to thank you for sharing that with me. I know that's hard. So that was the only time something like that's happened because of drinking or substances, or just in general?
In general.
Okay. One second, I'm just going to look at my notes for a second. Okay. What about, I just asked you about your history with alcohol. You said in college and currently once in a while, and you drink once a week, not once a week, a few times a week. Have you ever used any other substances like drugs or no history of drugs? How about, I'm assuming you graduated college, you graduated high school, you attended college. Did you complete college? Or and that was the highest level of education you've had?
Yeah.
Okay. How were you in college, as far as as a student, grades-wise? And
I mean, I definitely, when I first started, I definitely slept through some of my 8 a.m.s, but I felt like I was pretty strategic about not missing too many where I got penalized for missing class. I did okay. I graduated with a 3.0, so it was average.
And do you think you slept through class because you just didn't have the energy to go to class?
Yeah, and I definitely was just tired.
Just tired all the time.
Yeah. So, that was when I was 18, 19. But I didn't plan to have too many 8 a.m.s after I realized that I could mess it up.
Right. So you started to just take classes later on in the day and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And how did you make it to those? How were those classes?
Yeah, like I said, I tried to be strategic, and if I was gonna miss, I wasn't gonna miss enough to lose credit for it or lose points.
Okay. I want to ask, when you were growing up, or just any conversations with your mom and dad, they ever mentioned to you that you met all your milestones as a kid and met everything?
I think I was a normal full-term baby. That's what my mom says. She said that I was right on my due date. It was I was right on time. And then I think I walked at a year and talked at a year, and I don't think there were any problems there.
I want to switch gears again. Has there been a time where you think that you hear or see things that other people might not see?
No.
No. Okay. What about any feelings of kind of just paranoid, thinking that maybe someone's out to get you or someone's plotting against you? Any feelings or thoughts about that?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, so I want to go back to your recent feelings. So you said you're eating normal, you're sleeping more than normal, low energy, difficulty concentrating. It started in July. So this has been true for most of the day for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no you haven't had any time where you're not feeling these things.
I mean, if I'm on a hike and I'm
Mm-hmm.
outside, I feel
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll feel good, but it's a lot to get to that point, and it's not a lasting feeling.
Okay. You feel good when you're doing it, but it kind of goes away.
It goes away. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know, we switch gears, or
Mm-hmm.
and it's it takes a while to get into that mode.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go see a really nice mountaintop, it's really pretty. That'll boost my mood, I guess. But other than that, I feel like this majority of the day, majority of the week.
Has this affected your relationship with your fiance? If he feels okay, you're not enjoying the things you guys used to together anymore, has it caused any fights or anything like that?
I just think he thinks I'm super tired. And that I'm just lazy. Why are you so tired? You slept, you went to bed early last night, or what's your deal? On the weekends, he's he doesn't realize how late I sleep Monday through Friday because he's out the door at 7:30.
Okay, and he's going for work.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He is in finance.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you walk me through a typical day for you?
Sure. So I will wake up now. I used to wake up early and my coffee, and now I'm just kind of running out the door. It takes me about a half hour to get to work, so I literally wake up at 8:15 to be there at 9.
Okay.
And then I get home around 4:35. I'll come home, and if my fiance is not there, I'll sit on the couch and turn on the TV and take a nap, and instead of going to the gym or doing anything productive. And then we really we'll order in recently. More recently, I'm too lazy to cook, so we'll order in and maybe depending on the night, have some wine, watch a movie. I fall asleep during the movie, and then
Okay. So that's a typical day for you for the past few months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Okay. 1 second, I'm just looking at my notes. I want to go back and talk a little bit more about your family. And you said your relationship with your dad hasn't been the best, and you haven't really gotten along with his new family or your step-siblings and stuff like that. Have there been times that you guys have gotten together and you've...
I think when I was really, I want to say really little, but I wasn't that little. When they first divorced, I would spend time with my dad, and he had an apartment. So on the weekends, I'd go to his apartment, and then when he got remarried, I stopped going there as frequent. I just didn't like his wife, and then she got pregnant, and I just felt like I didn't want a little sister or a little brother. So I just would avoid going over there, and then as they got older, I could have taken on a big sister role, and I just had no desire.
Do you know why that is? I know you said that you feel like he gives more time, or your dad gives more time to their family, and you guys don't really have any connection, but is there any specific reason why you feel like you couldn't connect with his new wife, his kids, and stuff like that?
I just feel like he started over with a new family, and if he wanted to start over without us, then why would I try?
What about your mom and your dad's relationship? Like once they were divorced, how was that?
I mean, they were amicable because of me, but he wanted the divorce more than she did, so.
What led to the divorce? You said fighting?
They were just fighting all the time.
Okay. Do you know what about?
I just remember yelling as a kid. And
how did that feel when you were
just like, well, it's frustrating because it's like I was little. I was like 7 or 8, so I didn't really know what it meant. And I just thought everyone's family argued like that. So I didn't really know what to think of it. And then they were explaining divorce, and I'd known a couple of kids in my class who had divorced parents, and their stories just like they didn't like it. So I knew I wasn't gonna like it, and yeah.
How was school for you when you were a kid? When you were going through the divorce? When you were younger, elementary, middle school? How was that like?
I was a good student, so I got like A's and B's, and I think I used school as like a way to just like not think about stuff going on.
What about like your social life when you were younger with your peers?
I had friends like I said, I preferred to kind of like stay by myself, and like I really was a loner, but like I had friends. I just liked my own time.
Okay. I want to ask you if there was any other experiences as a kid that were like you think might have been traumatic for you, or anything else that happened that you think I should know about in your childhood?
I think my grandma passing was hard. Not that I can think of.
After your grandma passing, you said you guys were really close. Who did you use as a social support system, or just go to, or did you?
So my friend who lives on the West Coast, she became like, her and I went through a lot together. So she was like my person then. My mom, like I said, she was a bizarre relationship. She was my best friend, but she wasn't my mom. So I use her as a support, but I just think she should have been more of a mom and set more limits. So
can you tell me what other ways you wish your mom was there for you more? And
I think like I was responsible for making dinner between like 10 and 15 and doing laundry. I think I wish she had taken on a more maternal role there. But then I also understand that like times were tough. She was like paying for a mortgage by herself, and she had to like work. And I think my dad was more well off. So I don't know. Like I get that she did what she could with what she had, but I just wish, seeing other people the way they grew up, I wish I had more.
Do you think you could have gone to her though if you really needed something, or she's not someone you could confide
absolutely. I could talk to her about stuff, and I did. But yeah.
Okay. And you said, I want to go back to your college days. You said you were sometimes impulsive. Has there ever been any other times that you've had like impulsive behaviors that you just kind of did on the whim, or?
I think pushing myself out of the car.
Yeah.
Pretty impulsive. Yeah. I'm not really thinking of anything in particular right now, but yeah, I just think bring that guy back, or those guys back, and then the thing with the car.
There's no other times you thought about harming yourself? What about just self-harm, maybe like doing something to inflict pain on yourself, like cutting or anything like those self-harm behaviors? But have you ever had anything like that? No. And today, currently, like you feel okay that you're safe, you have someone to talk to, and you don't have any like intent or anything to harm yourself?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not thinking about it anymore.
Has there ever been any history of violence in your life, as far as maybe like family violence or in relationships, outside of the one instance you described to me in college? No. I'm sorry, one second. I'm just looking.
No, you're fine.
Could you tell me about your current job? Like how long you've had it?
So it's medical sales. It's
Mhm.
kind of selling equipment to different physicians and like hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there since 2030, so about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, it's not like my dream job, but it's decent pay and there's room for like moving up in the future.
What would your dream job be?
I don't
Where's
know.
your interest lie? You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But are you currently like happy where you are at work?
Yeah, I mean like it's status
It's
quo.
just
You know.
Okay. Any other past jobs?
I mean like odd jobs in college,
Okay.
but
So I just kind of want to like go through what we've talked about today, just to make sure I have the full picture and make sure there's nothing else you want me to know. So you're here today because you've just been feeling tired most of the time, lack of energy, just feeling very fatigued. Don't really feel like you have interest in doing what you normally would do, like hiking, going out with your fiance, and doing stuff like that outdoors. You can't concentrate on a lot of things. Just kind of feeling like not really the best about yourself. Is that like a good picture
Yeah.
I'm describing? Is there
Yeah.
anything else I should know?
No.
No. Okay. I'm just gonna wrap up. I don't know if it's time. But I'm just gonna wrap up, and I wanted to thank you for coming in. I know it's hard to talk about a lot of these things, but I just want to thank you for coming in and being so open with me. I'm gonna take what I talked with you with today and speak with my supervisor and come up with a plan going forward and what we should be doing and how to best help you and fit your needs. So I'm just gonna go back and consult with her. But I just wanted to thank you again for coming in today.